pronunciation, correct pronunciation is of course necessary. But it is necessary not at first. When you can speak English well, you yourself will try to learn correct pronunciation. Okay? We'll debate one day, not today. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you are very much impatient now. Now the most cherished, most desired and the most desirable, venerable, distinguished sage, God of English, today's chief guest, Dr.M.Maniruzzaman, Associate Professor and Chairman, Department of English, Jahangirnagar University, Sabat Dhaka, will deliver his most meaningful and needful lecture on communicative English, teaching, ideas and experiences. Hello ladies and gentlemen, you please get ready to ask him some questions, but the questions must be regarding communicative English. Now I would like to have the pleasure to request Mr. Dr.M.Maniruzzaman to deliver his lecture. Today's chief guest.
Honorable Chairman of this Symposium, honorable special guests, my respected colleagues from different colleges and schools, and other participants, Assalamu alaikum. I really feel much honored to be among you. I'm really grateful to the people of Tangai, to English.Club and the organizers of this symposium. Actually, symposium is a forum in which participants exchange ideas, views about something. And today's topic is communicative language teaching. And as it's a symposium and the title suggests, I should not make a very marathon long speech on communicative language teaching. I think you'd better ask me questions with my little ability, with my limited capability. I'll try to answer your questions. And again, if you give me some opportunity for asking you some questions, I do hope you would answer my questions. So, I'm inviting questions from the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any problem of language, you may also use Bangla in asking questions. Don't feel shy. If you have any problem, anybody, you may use Bangla. Excuse me, sir.
We are not that much formal. You may ask me questions both in English or in Bangla. My windows, doors and ventilators are open for you. Feel free, Frank, and ask me questions.
Thank you, sir. So I'd like to know about the language skills, like listening, speaking, reading and writing. Is this series possible for the first language or foreign language? If foreign language, how is it possible to have listening skills? Thank you, sir.
Well, maybe I have understood the question. The question is related to the basic skills, listening, speaking, reading and writing. Actually, these 4 basic skills are important for both first language learners and second foreign language learners. Listening and reading are called receptive skills because when we listen to something, we receive something. When we read something, we receive some message, some information. On the other hand, writing and speaking are called productive skills. When we write and speak, we produce something, and all these skills are necessary for foreign language learners too. But your question is, how can these skills be taught to foreigners, like the people of Bangladesh, like Bengali speaking learners? Actually, the salient principles of communicative language teaching approach. It's not a method, number one thing. Communicative language teaching is an approach. It's not a method. Grammar translation method is a method. Oriental method is a method. Direct method is a method. There are some other methods, but communicative language teaching is not a method, it's an approach based on a lot of theories. Okay, to touch upon those points, before going to touch on those points, I'm targeting at youth question, that's how these skills can be taught in Bangladesh. Yes, it's possible through the communicative language teaching approach, and this approach encompasses all the 4 basic skills. When we are teaching a foreign language to some students through the communicative language teaching approach, we are teaching all the 4 skills, and our emphasis, we are putting equal emphasis on all the 4 basic skills. But if we look at the textbook for the secondary and higher secondary level students of Bangladesh, we find that the textbooks have a lot of constraints, limitations. in those books. The writing skill and the reading skill have been given more emphasis, number 1 point. And number 2 point, in the examination, what we call in Bangladesh, only writing and reading are tested, listening and speaking skills are tested. So, actually, to teach these 4 basic skills, we have to have some important, some basic things. Number 1, we must have a very scientifically designed, written, adopted, adapted, compiled, whatever you say, material. Number 2, we must have trained, well-trained teachers. Number 3, we have to ensure an environment where we can be able to teach the skills. Number 4, we must have some trained, well-trained textbook writers. Number 5, we must have some honest publishers. These are the basic things we need to develop a mechanism through which we can be able to teach the 4 basic skills of the English language to our students to an optimal extent. We want to know more.
Thank you, sir. Then how is it possible on our part that we are going to do good in the teaching of poor skills in our country? As we don't have any materials and good teachers, good trained teachers, and good training institutions in our country. So I think this type of teaching won't go more longer.
Yes, I partially agree with you, but not fully. But I want to add 1 point to you. That such institutions can run, but they have to have some formal training to enhance, develop, improve their ability, and that would much help both themselves and the people coming to them.
Yeah, teacher, I would like to know.
Yes, I am coming to you. I am coming to you next. Don't worry.
I would like to know from you, in 9, 10 and ACC level, that is 11 and 12 classes, reading chapter have been prescribed by the NCT. And I especially would like to know from you, what has been the use for prescribing this chapter? Because this chapter containing 24 marks, 14 marks in ACC level and 10 marks in SHC level. What is the origin of this chapter, and how can it be possible to teach very easily, and how can the learners be able to learn this very easily without memorizing? This is my special question to my dear teacher.
Thank you very much for this nice question. Its origin is the communicative language teaching approach. Actually, such an exercise is based on some sort of paragraph or story described or narrated in 10, 12 or 14 or 16 sentences, but the sentences are placed in a jumbled way without maintaining the sequence order, and the students' job is to put the sentences according to their sequence or order. Actually, depending on memorization or memory, one can't always successfully do the exercise. That's why to solve this problem, student and examiner, examinee, has their meaning, has to be able to, and examinee has to be able to read a text with well comprehension. She must be able to understand which sentence will go after which. If the examinee can understand the meaning of all the sentences and can also understand where to put which sentence, it's then possible for him to rearrange the sentences according to their right order. And we can use some techniques for sequencing them. If you have gone through the book, the SSC secondary level book or intermediate level book I have written, you will find some techniques I have put in those books. I think, from my experience, I think those techniques will much help you rearrange the sentences in their correct order. More questions?
Yes, sir. May I know from you that actually I would like to know from you what is the easy way. If you would like to solve about 9-number question or 10-number question that is free, then we may get finite number of sequence of tense, conditional, and such other items.
Yeah.
But actually, in previous year, that is in Dhaka board, about Nelson Mandela, a rearrange has been made in ACC level question. But in no books, I got it. And I always many teachers, I think that will agree with me to this. And actually, is there any easy method how to solve rearranging chapter very easily? Suppose if any student learns rearranging by memorizing, but sometimes we know that communicative system doesn't encourage the students to memorize. But if a student starts memorizing things which is text, then it will be on the contrast of communicative syllabus. But actually my question was that how we can get the easy elements on communicative system? Is there any grammatical method? Is there any origin? Or is there anything so that the students will be clear? Suppose for second paper in communicative ACC level, in second paper, 9-number question, this chapter many teachers said that this chapter has been consisted on 10 chapters, suppose sequence of tense, but real chapter containing 14 marks in first paper.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I will request you to look into some constraint. We have to vacate this auditorium by as soon as the other is sounded. So I request you to put questions in very short, and one question from one person. This will be our method.
Now, if so, I'm sure. I'm very much.
Okay, let me say 1-2 sentences to you. That's, you just want to have some ideas about the techniques of doing this type of exercise. If you, to be very brief, if you read this very relevant section in my SSC book, you will find some techniques, and I do hope those techniques will be of use to you. Thank you very much.
Hello, I got of English. I have got a question to you. That I am a student of English literature. I am a student of English literature. As a student of English literature, I should have had the memorizing power. But nowadays, all of a sudden, my memorizing power has been loosened. So how is it for me to increase my memorizing power? Please tell me this question.
indeed. Firstly, I am neither a god nor a goat. I am a human being. I have been a student of the English language and literature, and now I am a very little teacher of the English language and literature. You are losing your memorizing ability. Have you studied the poem Ulysses by Lord Alfred Tennyson? If you once more go through that poem, I do hope you will find out a way of reviving your memory, your memorizing ability, or strengthening your memorizing ability. Thank you very much.
Hello, Mr. Maniruzzaman. I would like to ask you a question. That is, the new system of English offered us to good in speaking English, to good in listen, to good in writing in English properly. But our teachers do not teach us about any grammatical topics, and there is no chance to think in English and to write the proper pronunciation in our school and college level. So how should we will be based in communicative English?
Thank you very much for your nice question. Though you teachers didn't teach you grammar formally, you speak very correct English using grammar. So, yes, without learning English grammar, you can speak English using grammar. You did not learn the English grammar. Number one point. And number two, actually, we are used to teaching, we are used to learning English language through grammar translation method. In that method, actually, what we do, we learn some grammatical rules, we learn some words,
No problem, but our teacher, that is our president.
is quite opposite. This approach, CLTA, advocates language teaching in a contextualized way. Without context, there is no vitality of language. One confession, one thing I could tell you, one very famous anthropologist, Malinowski, 1934 says, if you want to know about a language, you first try to know the culture of the people of that language. So a language is very much related, integrated into its culture. But through the grammar translation method, Richards and Rogers, 1984, say, through the grammar translation method, we don't teach the language, we teach about the language. We don't teach the language, we teach about the language. But what we need to learn, we need to learn language, not about the language. Another one point I should try to clarify. Through the grammar translation method, a language is taught deductively from definition to examples. For example, many of us have learned English language through definitions to examples. First we have learned the definition of tense or other things, then we have learned the examples of some grammar points, etc. But through the communicative language teaching approach, language is taught inductively from examples to definition. Students, learners will be exposed to a lot of input through the language of computer, input, raw materials. And out of a lot of raw material input, the student will take some intake. And after that, the student will give output, production. So definitions and more important than input, production. We need learn the language, not about the language. Are you satisfied? No. How can I satisfy you? Show me the way.
Thank you. Is it possible to?
Yeah, please.
I'm not satisfied with you in your speech because if we haven't any idea about tense, about voice, we could not make our sentences correctly. So how you can say me that if we don't learn grammar, I will be best in English. We haven't any idea about tense, about voice, about narration, about numbers, about articles. How I will be good in English, in communicative English? I'm not satisfied with you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Firstly, excuse me, you are hearing Ajan. So,
Okay, one thing I would like to inform you. Today's chief guest is also a writer. Hello, you have already learned this. Today's guest is also a writer. He has written books from class high school to masters. He has written books on communicative English. Dear students and dear friends, you can get the solution, his written solution. Thank you very much. Now, I will keep only for another 10 minutes. And a person should be allowed to ask a single question, not more than one. A man should not ask, a single man should not be allowed to ask questions more than one. Thank you very much.
You should ask one question, only one question, one person. Because time is very limited. Ours are desire to go to Dhaka. So I'd like to honestly request only one question from one person. Thank you. I'd like to highlight another thing. Our chief guest, he was a veteran person, and he had many books in our bazaar, especially on communicative English. If you want to enhance your knowledge about communicative English, you can go through his book. His book published in separate publication. If you go through this book, you can easily know this communicative system. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to request our chief guest, Dr.M.Maniruzzaman. Dr.M.Maniruzzaman, sir. Thank you.
I asked you a question that is...
without learning grammar,
yeah, without learning...
how can we speak correct English?
Numbers, yeah, tense, voice, how can we make a good sentence, make a correct sentence? It is not possible, I think.
Yes, you are all right. And the communicative language teaching approach doesn't discourage teaching learning grammar, but the communicative language teaching installed in our country is not actually communicative language teaching. It must be compensated for amended. I think it must be reformed, and if we want to teach communicative English, we have to develop communicative language teaching materials, including books and other things. We have to train up our teachers for teaching English in the communicative language teaching approach. Alright. So the problem is not with the system, with the approach. The problem is with us. with the experts who developed the book, who introduced
Good phonetics in English, right phonetics.
request some institutions in this town like English Dot Club and others to arrange some training program having a lot of lecture series or workshops, symposiums, seminars, etc. And if I'm invited, inshallah, I'll try to come, number one. And number two, I will try to bring here more experts from Dhaka University, from Jahangirnagar University, and we will extend our lavish, generous help. Thank you very much indeed. Next.
I have got it.
Small question.
I am a student of English literature.
I don't hear you.
Literature and second year. And we are reading language skill. For it is our new syllabus. And in this language skill, we suffer frustration because different tutors supply their different ideas about it, especially on and two. Form, style, voice, number one question. And next, states the lecturer's ideas in the reader and the writer. And some gives us broad answer, and some gives us short. In how we can overcome this?
Sorry, before going to answer your question, let me ask you a question. Are you a student of government Sadat College?
No.
Which college?
I'm a student of Eden College.
Eden College, and you have come from Dhaka?
Yeah.
I'm so lucky indeed. Yeah. So there are a lot of teachers, experts in Dhaka.
Frustration.
So first of all, you read my book, then try to discover the problems, make a list of the problems, and collect my telephone number, and you telephone me. I will try to answer your questions, solve your problems. Thank you very much.
I can give a telephone number.
Okay, write down 770. Same time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, have you got my telephone number? No. 7708799. Thank you very much indeed. Next question.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question to you. What you have done to develop your skill?
Actually, thank you very much. It's a nice question. It's a nice question. To be truthful, it's very difficult for me to answer your question. What I have done to be, what I have done to be today's me, today's Maniruzzaman. But I think I was a school student, then college student, then university student. I tried to study regularly, not very much regularly, and thus I am today's Maniruzzaman.
Thanks for your nice reply.
Welcome. Next.
Thank you, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Please, I answered maybe 2 of your questions. So let's give other people some opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
But in our country, students are emphasized on first of all to write answer. This is the problem students are facing. We know that a textbook of intermediate. There are a book designed by NCTB, namely TG. I have read it so far, but there are a lot of instructions for the teachers, but teachers are not following this in the classroom. So far I know it. I think due to lack of time, teachers have not been to follow it in the classroom. But how can they follow it? I would like to request you to say something about it. And I would like to recommend on this, the teachers, how can they follow the TG? Because a lot of time, due to lack of time, teachers are not following in the classroom this type of instructions. But I would like to request you that TG already have sent to every college in Bangladesh for the teachers instruction. But how is it possible to do so?
Thank you very much. You have pointed out an important factor. You have acknowledged that NCTB has prepared a teacher's guide, but the problem is teachers don't want to follow that. What's that? Teachers don't read that.
Teachers don't read that, but they don't have a lot of time to follow it. If they follow it, they will not be able to finish it within 2 years.
Okay. Then I think we can develop ourselves overnight within 1 or 2 days. So a teacher, if he/she wants to develop him herself, he/she should go through teaching and gradually develop himself herself in 4 or 5 years. If not possible in 2 years, then he/she can spend 3 years. If this time is again impossible, then 1 more year in this way. So it's up to the teacher. Okay, or you may contact NCTB to arrange some training program in which all the teachers of this country will be invited and trained up. Okay.
But this already has been made for the benefit of the students.
Actually, in our country, every arrangement has some mismanagement. That's the problem. Sometimes we start from the middle. That's the problem. There is a saying, well begun is half done. But we can't begin anything well. There's the problem. Thank you.
Your attention please. Mass has been told question and answer hour cannot be lengthened anymore. Only one person will be allowed to ask questions, and then we'll have to put a stop to this August function. Only one person will be allowed.
শ্রদ্ধেয় ডক্টর মনিরুজ্জামান, আপনাকে পেয়ে আমরা গর্বিত। আমার একটা প্রশ্ন, প্রাথমিক স্তরে আমি বলছি প্রথম শ্রেণী থেকে পঞ্চম শ্রেণী, এখানে যারা শিক্ষা দিচ্ছেন তাদের এই কমিউনিকেটিভ ইংলিশ সম্পর্কে কতটুকু ধারণা থাকা দরকার এবং তারা কি পদ্ধতিতে এই জিনিসটা ছোট ছোট কোমলমতি শিশুদের শেখাবেন। এর সাথে আরেকটা ছোট্ট আমি কোশ্চেন করতে যাচ্ছি, এটা হচ্ছে যে এখন তারিখগুলো আমরা শিখেছি 2 এপ্রিল, 5 মার্চ, এখন লেখা হয় 2 এপ্রিল, 5 মার্চ। এতে কি একই অর্থ বোধ করার প্রথম শব্দ এলো না? ধন্যবাদ।
Thank you very much for your questions. Firstly, I have already told you to teach English in the communicative language teaching approach. We need suitable materials, we need trained teachers, we need suitable environment, etc. But hardly anything is available in our country. That's why, in a word, we can say that at this moment, communicative language teaching is not that much relevant. To do something, we have to create an atmosphere. And actually, without creating the atmosphere, we have started a business. Maybe you have understood what I have tried to mean. Your second question, 5th April and 5th April. These are the different systems of writing dates in English. In the British system, 5th April we can write. Again, we can write the the 5th of April. Another one way, 5 April, but the pronunciation is 5th April. These are different ways of expressing the same thing. In the American system, first we write down the month, April, then date, 5, then comma, then year. In the French system, we first write the year, 2004, then month, then date. Because always the North American people want to do something completely opposite the things done by the British people. Again, the French people try to do something different from the British people and the American people. Sorry. Okay. Are you satisfied? Well, thank you very much.
Sir, I want to tell something in front of you. That is,
So I have to answer your question. I have to seek permission from the chair of this symposium. Lady more. I mean one person more. Okay, you.
as a student of communicative system, I want to ask only one question, and that question, which things are very essential to learn communicative English?
Which thing is?
Are very essential.
Which things?
Are very essential.
Things or thing?
Things
Things are very essential.
to learn communicative English.
Thank you very much. Though your question is very short, but it demands a very big answer. The communicative language learning demands that you will learn speaking, reading, writing, and listening with equal success ability. Are you satisfied with the answer? Are you satisfied with the answer? Okay. Let's be satisfied today. Thank you. Finally, one more sentence. Finally, I'm trying to end my humble speech. Really, I enjoyed talking to you. It's undoubtedly a very happy moment for me, and I'm really surprised that you have a lot of motivation, desire for developing your command of the English language, and I do wish you every success. Please wish me luck. See you soon again. Allah Hafiz.